Honorable Men Discord. Plies is ungrateful. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Yes, I said it. Plies is ungrateful. All right, let's get straight to it. So the Rick Ross 4th annual car show was on June 7th. All right. And I want to say he started doing the performances as of the second car show. I don't believe he did a performing and stuff like that during the first car show. I think it started to evolve. He started to add certain things to his car show to make it bigger and better, to give people, I guess, the most for their dollar. Right. So in any regard, he had Plies as one of the performers at the car show, and right after the car show, maybe a day later or so, Plies decides to go on and talk about how he feels like the whole car show movement has changed and not for the better, right? And that's why I say Plies is ungrateful. But let's just go into this video that I want to show. I want to show you Plies sitting next to Rick Ross. And of course, at the end, I'm going to give my opinion on all of this. So let's get into it.
What you looking at, ain't it? You know what you looking at.
Florida type shit.
You feel me?
Florida type shit.
Hey, my nigga, June 2nd, that car show going down in a major way, and it wouldn't be right.
You been rocking with Tubula TV, man. Subscribe.
All right. This is Plies performing. Now, I didn't put the audio on because I didn't want a copyright strike, but you see Plies out there. Now, I saw different angles of this, and as Plies is performing, the crowd really didn't seem that into it. This angle looks much better than the other angle. There was an angle from behind Plies, and looking at the crowd, they just seemed like they were just watching it, but it wasn't like they were moved by his performance, right? Now, this is Plies talking on the car shows.
Hey, this real quick, but this to the car culture, the old school cars. I was talking to Nav and Grease about this shit the other day, and I was talking to Nav about it the other day, actually. And I was telling them, I said, man, I don't feel like the car culture as creative as it used to be, like it was back in the day. Niggas used to have motherfucking Lamborghini doors on box Chevys and scoops on the motherfucking hood and bucket motherfucking seats in the inside and power antennas on the trunk and motherfucking Eminem themed paint jobs and bowling balls and 30s and motherfucking lows and assassin rims and motherfucking curtains in the motherfucking window and motherfucking crush interior. Regardless if you thought that shit was country or not, you seen the creativity in that shit. Niggas had all different kind of motherfucking cars. Now I feel like niggas is building their motherfucking cars for other niggas, and niggas ain't building cars for the hoes no more. Cause a hoe don't care nothing about. A female don't give a fuck about nothing under your motherfucking car. Nothing. Now this shit became about who done spent the most motherfucking money. Every boat, every motherfucking screw. There ain't no motherfucking female care nothing about that shit. Other niggas, hard legs care about that shit. Motherfucking motor and this kind. There ain't no motherfucking body care about that. And it's like I told the motherfucker, if you gonna charge, if it's about being new, this is like going to the motherfucking mall, getting a new outfit and some new shoes. It don't mean you motherfucking killing cause your shit new. It's about how you put that shit together. And it's like I told you gonna charge me $500,000 to build this motherfucker. My car better be able to do what every other motherfucking car costs $400,000, $500,000 can do. That motherfucking Bentley for $400, I can get in that motherfucker, go from Florida to California, turn motherfucking bike around and come straight back to motherfucking Florida, and I ain't got to drop that motherfucking car off the Bentley. That motherfucking Bentley ain't gonna live in no motherfucking shop. I know that. Not for no motherfucking 400. So, now I just feel like nigga got the same motherfucking car, same rims, same interior, same motherfucking motor, same lights, go to the same every motherfucking thing. Only thing different is the color coordination. And I just feel like this shit is about who spent the most, and it ain't about what I feel the car culture used to be about, the creativity.
And then lastly, I'm going to show Rick Ross's response, which is right here. Right. Rick Ross calls him broke. All right. So immediately when I saw that video, go back to it, this video of Plies speaking on the car show, immediately I said to myself, what is he doing? Because first of all, no disrespect to Plies, he had some songs, some records that I liked, but he's not a current artist right now, right? So to me, if anything, Rick Ross reaching out to him, whether it be because Rick Ross was saving some money as opposed to trying to get someone that's current, Rick Ross is still looking out for him, because I'm pretty sure Plies was paid to perform. But Plies is not sought after like that. So regardless if Plies has a point, if he's making a point, I think the timing is horrible. And it's disrespectful in my opinion. Because if it was my car show and I reached out to Plies to perform, I pay him to perform, and then immediately a day or two after he's talking down on the whole car movement, it's like a slap in the face. It's like a slap in the face. Now, if you disagree with me, that's the whole purpose of this video. If you disagree with me, let's talk about it in the comments. But I think it's like a slap in the face. I think it's just disrespectful because, if anything, Rick Ross looked out for him, right? And then another thing, he started bringing up the car shows of the past, or what guys used to do in the past with the Lamborghini doors. Listen, things evolve. And the funny thing he said about how everything seems like it's the same, well, welcome to 2025. That's how the rap music sounds. All right, rap music sounds, there's no separation between the artists. There's very little separation between the artists. And if you disagree with me when I say that, I'll see you in the comments. There's really no separation. So honestly, 2025, the way things are is a whole copy culture. To some extent, everyone's just copying each other. There was a point in time where, even when it comes to looks, females were copying Kim Kardashian. There was a period in time, especially when she was with Kanye West at the height of their relationship. There were females that were going under the knife just to look like Kim Kardashian. I remember seeing it on certain videos where plastic surgeons were talking about people would literally come in and say, I want to look like Kim Kardashian. All right. And I'm only bringing that up to say the things he's complaining about in the car show, that's just how the culture is right now. We could deny it, but it's a copy culture. But that's not to say that the car show doesn't have value. And he mentioned the fact that, it seems like guys are making the cars for other guys. First of all, those people that get involved in the old school cars, fixing them up, doing the reupholstery, hope I'm saying that right, for like the interior and stuff like that, it's a hobby. These things take a long period of time. So most of these cars that are showcased at Rick Ross's car show, they've been worked on for a year or more to be ready for the car show. All right, it's a hobby. I don't think those guys that's working on the car have ever been thinking about, I got to make this car look nice for the female. These guys genuinely love vehicles. So I don't know where he's going with that. Maybe in the past guys were fixing up cars for the girls, but this type of car show in 2025, this is about car enthusiasts. These are about people that really care about vehicles, care about what's under the hood, care about preserving cars that they used to see when they were younger from their uncles, their fathers. That's what these car shows are about. And as far as the detail of the cars, like underneath the cars, that's all the separation between the other competitors. And yes, the other competitors are doing it also, but the car show of 2025 and previous years, when we're talking about Rick Ross's car show, what I've seen as an outsider from watching other people's videos of the car shows, when it comes to the dunks and stuff like that, the whole purpose of the detail is to show how much work you put in more than the other guy. It is a competition. That's what you're there for. You're not there to put detail underneath the car because you're trying to catch the eyes of women. That's not what this is about. This is like a full testosterone event. Okay, yes, there's women out there too looking at the cars, but make no mistake, the car show is a testosterone event. Whether it be muscle cars, old school cars, it's a little bit of everything. If anything, I completely disagree with this. If you agree with what Plies is saying, let's talk about it in the comments. Regardless if he may have a point with some of the things he says, I just think his timing is disrespectful. I think the car show, from what I'm seeing as an outsider, looks great. I think it's a great car show. I think it's bigger than just a car show. It's networking. It's a concert. Look at what Rick Ross is trying to do here. Whether or not the tickets are expensive, I mean, that depends on the purpose of you going to the car show. Because for me, it looks like an absolute good event to attend as far as networking. It has value in just that alone, in the networking aspect of it. But the details on the vehicles, I'm all for it. I think that's amazing to see all the work that they put on the parts underneath. And yes, the average person won't see it when the car is driving, but these cars weren't meant to be driving to go to the supermarket or go to the mall. These cars are obviously show cars. They put all that work because those cars aren't going to be driving, like he said, from one end of the country to the next end of the country. That's why I think a lot of the stuff he's saying is ridiculous. Now, I don't know if he's really bitter because he feels like he was underpaid, or if there's some type of ulterior motive to the reason why he even decided to make this rant, but I just think it's disgusting. And this is another example of how sometimes, within our community, we try to look out for one another and then we get stabbed in the back. And say what you want, and I'm always going to bring it full circle back to our community, because my channel is about pointing things out, discussing it, in hopes that we change the way we operate. That's the whole point. It's not to talk down on us as black people, but I mean, come on, who's doing something like that fresh off of getting paid to perform at an event? Who's going a few days after and taking a subliminal jab at someone who looked out for you? And whether or not it was a business transaction, you might look at it like, oh, well, Rick Ross didn't look out for him. Rick Ross paid him, or Plies, was a name before Rick Ross, because I believe Plies was out before Rick Ross was out, if I'm not mistaken. And even if they came out around the same time, the point of the matter is, Plies in 2025 is not as relevant as he used to be. It just is what it is. It's the nature of music, But I was disgusted when I saw this, and immediately I said, yeah, I'm gonna speak on this, because what is he doing, and why is he doing that? But shout out to Rick Ross and his car show. I personally would like to be present at some point in time, possibly the 5th annual, if not the 6th annual, because I just like what I see from people's videos that they post on YouTube, and I just love cars, period. The only reason why I honestly haven't gone yet is because I could care less about the crowds and the standing waiting for the buses to transport us to his estate. That part of it I'm not really interested in, but I do want to see those cars up close and personal, because I think it's a good thing, And one other thing I was going to say about the car shows. Everything Plies is talking about, I think about the car show here in New York City, that in the Jacob Javits Center. They have cars that are not necessarily souped up. They don't have dunks. To my knowledge, I don't remember seeing cars like dunks and things like that. They just have prototype cars, new release cars that are coming out maybe like a few years later, things of that nature. And even those car shows to me is entertaining and worth the dollar. So gone are the days of Cadillac trucks with suicide doors and stuff like that. No one wants to see that. I understand what he's saying. It was interesting. Those things may still occur on lower level circuits. There's a place for all of that, but I just feel like don't try to take shots at Rick Ross after just performing at his event. I think that was tasteless, and I think it was lame on his part. But that's all I have on this topic. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Continue to support the channel, and I'm going to continue to release content daily, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Salute. Take care.